Hello, Joe.
Hello, Bob. How are you?
I'm all right.
I didn't know this was all about getting to know me well.
Oh, well, do you know what? I like the song.
I like the song as well.
I thought I know.
Howard Jones is good.
Yeah, I like Howard Jones.
yeah.
Still gigging, Howard.
Is he still going?
I'll tell you what, where you come across him sometimes, he does the weekends.
Does he?
You know, you get
Yeah.
the 80s weekends
Yeah, that's it,
and
yeah.
that sort of stuff at Minehead. I think
With David Essex, he does them as well, doesn't he?
David Essex did
David
it.
Essex.
The last time I was in Bognor,
Yeah.
doing a lunchtime show there. In the next dressing room, I'm getting myself ready for my dressing room. In the next dressing room, I can hear someone singing, warming up, and I pop my head around. Oh, Toya's there.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Toya, you all right? Hello, Bob, you all right? I'm all right, Toya. It was lovely. And what they do, for anyone who's never been to a weekend, an 80s weekend, 70s, 60s weekend, whatever, can you sit up? I'm being told on my screen.
Oh, sorry, I'm lounging about like I'm at
You
home.
were lounging about a little bit.
I was relaxing. I was relaxed too quickly into this, didn't I?
Yeah, it looks... What they've said there, because there's a camera for the...
I saw the camera, yeah.
And what it said, can you ask your guest to sit up? He looks like someone who's asking for money. That's what it said. That's not me. That's what it said, Joe. But these weekends... have you done any?
Yeah, I've done a few of those, yeah.
They're really, really good.
I know they are, yeah. Yeah,
and when
good.
you talk to the people... I was talking to Martin Fry, is it, from ABC?
Yeah, from ABC, yeah.
I mean, they're working 50 weeks a year.
I know, they're on the road all the time, aren't they?
You know, and earning they probably earn more now than they did when they had the big hit in the chart, when they were still paying back then, of course, they were getting a wage, a lot of them, off the record companies.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and still paying back these big advances, whereas now...
Yeah, just get the money for the gig.
And some of them have a band, some of them you'll have a house band wherever they're playing. But, I mean, Toya just had she had a backing track, basically.
Yeah.
And she does her hits, and then they do other songs. And
what was Toya's hits? Do you remember Toya's hits? It was,
I wanna Shamas run through the streets. She was always angry when she run through the streets.
You know, I did Mastermind with Toya a little while ago, right?
Oh, was she on that with you?
Yeah, she won it.
Oh, did she? I thought you won.
No, I've got 19 out of 19 of my specialist subject, right?
Which was?
Well, I've done it twice. The first time it was I did vampires in the cinema, and then the second time I did werewolves of movies. That's what I've done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you got 19 out of 19?
19 out of 19, yeah. Then, because then John Humphreys was doing it, and he actually said, I said, look, I'm not very good at general knowledge. If certain subjects I'm good at, but, you know, general knowledge, it depends what it is. And he went, well, just guess. If you guess, he said, you know, because at the end of it, he said they add up the passes, and that could go against you. Whoever gets the most passes. So don't pass on anything, have a guess. So I think the second question I got on general knowledge, I knew everybody else's, to get to mine. First, I think the second question, he said, what's the current Pope's Christian name? Right? So I said, Kevin. I guessed, right? I'm looking for 30 seconds. He wet his knickers laughing. I said, hurry up, John. So he wasted all my time. So I went from being in first position to last in a snap of a finger like that, just because he was laughing at Kevin.
What is the current Pope's?
I don't know. At the time, it was probably Francis or something. Some name like, Edgar. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't Kevin.
So, Joe Pasquale.
Hello, Bob.
Let's get to know you well. I can't keep doing that, can I? Just because you like a Howard Jones song, you can't build a whole show around it.
You've known me for 25 years.
I know. Tell us. All I know about your being young is that you were. You did the holiday camps.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to go back before that?
Yeah.
Oh, before that, I left school with, I got 3 really bad CSEs. I think it was English, art and geography, something like that. And I went to college for a year. And
where'd you go to college?
I just technical college, did some O-levels. And
where are we now, by the way?
It's still in Essex, still in Grays.
Oh, from Grays?
Yeah,
okay.
From Grays. Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from up north.
Are you?
Yeah.
You lost a lot of your accent though, haven't you?
Yeah, but there's a reason for that.
Is there? What's that?
Well, no, all right, and we're not going to get me well, get to know me well. But the reason for that is very simple, and I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
When I was 15 and a half, I joined the Navy.
I didn't know this.
Right,
I take it Merchant Navy?
Yeah, I'm living in Chester. I joined the Merchant Navy. I get in the Merchant Navy.
Yeah.
And I get the train pass to bring me down to London. You get off at King's Cross and you have to go across onto Waterloo and then you go to Gravesend.
Yeah.
And at Gravesend is the Merchant Navy College.
That's where I live. I live in Gravesend.
Yeah, T.S. Denton.
Yeah.
Well, I was a peanut, so T.S. Denton. And it's a weird setup, of course, because you come out the station and you're met in the minibus.
Yeah.
Merchant Navy, and you get in the minibus, and it takes you to TS Training Ship Denton,
Yeah.
which is a college in Gravesend, near a shopping centre.
Yeah.
It's not in the water, it's a college, but you have to treat it like a ship.
Right.
You have to ask for permission to go ashore. You have fore and aft and all this.
Yeah.
They run it just like a ship. And I realised I'd made a terrible mistake.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I did it. And it was just, honestly, I just knew it was silly.
Yeah.
I'd made the wrong choice.
So is that why you started to try to lose the accent then?
No, we're getting there.
Oh, okay.
Bottom line is, I leave.
Yeah.
You're allowed to leave in the first 9 days you
Yeah.
can leave. So I leave. And they give me the travel warrant back
Yeah.
to go back to Chester. Of course, I get as far as London. I think, I can't turn up now.
Yeah.
I've left. They've had a big thing. Oh, he's joining the Navy. They've bought stuff like pyjamas and a shaving kit.
Pyjamas are good.
And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't just suddenly turn up.
What are the pyjamas like?
They had a cord.
Okay.
You know, you pull not like a rip cord.
No, I know what you mean. I
jump
do.
out of a
Yeah,
plane
yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like that. But I never had pyjamas. But you had to if you're going to join the Navy. Anyway, bottom line, I stayed in London. I just stayed there.
Yeah.
And so I've lived in London ever since.
Right.
And when I was about 16, whatever, I was living in South London, and I went up to two guys. I'd seen a job advertised in the evening news, and I went up to two lads on the street and said, "Excuse me, pal, do you know where I can get a bus into town?"
Yeah.
And they went, "Do what, mate? Get a what? Bus? I don't think we have buses around here, pal." And I thought, no, I'm not having this.
Yeah.
I'm not having this.
So you dropped it,
So I spent 3 weeks
learning how to talk
learning
Cockney.
how to talk Cockney.
It stayed, didn't it?
Yeah, honestly, because I thought I can't afford to be different.
No.
Otherwise, I'll just get picked on.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Well, you do know that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I left school then, shall I go back to that?
Yeah, go on.
Go back to that. I went to work at, first job, I was Department of Transport and Environment, Dangerous Goods Branch. Sounds interesting.
Dangerous goods.
That's me, yeah. I didn't handle any dangerous goods. I just sent out MOT certificates and the HAZCAM, the little stickers that go inside the lorries.
Okay.
I used to send them off, and that was it. That was the most dangerous it got, was like getting a paper cut from sticking it in an envelope.
But what kind of dangers? They're chemicals.
Oh, chemicals, all
yeah.
the stuff that goes out, all, stuff on the side of the lorry has a big hand on it with a big X, and then it'll have it look like acid is burning it, that sort of stuff.
You know what my favourite fact about those sort of things is?
What?
What does flammable mean?
Means it's going to burn.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the opposite to flammable,
Inflammable.
but it doesn't. Inflammable means the same.
No.
Yeah, because they said, no. We can't be doing that. You can't have two words. One is, because that'll confuse people. So inflammable means it's going to catch fire, and flammable means it's going to catch fire. If it's not going to catch fire, it's uninflammable.
Oh,
But inflammable
see?
and flammable mean exactly the same, because you can't have people getting confused. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
That's cool.
So you'd sit in your office, blah, 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 the phone would ring, and you'd say,
No, I wasn't allowed to answer the phone. I was only clerical assistant. I wasn't trained in answering the phone.
someone would answer the phone.
Yeah.
Mr. Hopgrass would answer and say, "Pasquale,
Yes,
someone's sending a load of
stickers.
pruric acid," I was going to say,
Okay.
"to Skegness.
Yeah.
They'll need stickering up." Was it?
That's it, basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Can you photocopy this as well for me? And it'd invariably be like a lunch menu for the next week.
Okay.
That sort of stuff. So I lasted that for about a year.
But was that actual? Were you an official civil servant?
Yes, I had to sign the Official Secrets Act. Yeah, what was I going to grass them up on?
the lunch menu, was that part of that? Okay.
Then I went to Smithfield's meat market. I was called a humper, right? They had
Not on
boners.
your head, though.
What on my head?
You
What?
didn't carry stuff on your head.
Yeah, did all sorts of, on my back, pistolas, the lot, half a cow, ball quarters, the lot. It was amazing. But it was the best, and then margarine factory, it was the best money I ever earned in a normal job, right? And it started like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I was called a humper. You'd have to unload these lorries from this frozen meat that was in the back of these frozen lorries, and then take it round to a boning room where it would defrost a little bit. And then these blokes with all their boners, like knights of shining armour, had all these like ninjas, right? And they'd take all the bones out of this meat and they'd pack it all up. And not only did it get good wages, I'd also get at the end of the week a chicken. Whole chicken, it wasn't plucked either, and a huge lump of beef, like a great big shoulder of beef, massive.
Yeah.
It's like the size of your head, right? It's massive, And my mum used to love it because, weekends, chicken and beef, it was massive. But I used to have a Yamaha FS1E. Do you remember the fizzy mopeds, right? I used to come up the A13 from Grays up to Smithfields. And on a Friday, I didn't have a backpack or nothing like that. I didn't have a box on the back.
You had a chicken?
I had a chicken in one bag, a little plastic bag, Tesco bag, and the beef in the other plastic bag. And I'd have them on my handlebars. And it was balanced out. Beef on one side, chicken on the other. It was great. Going down the A13 Friday afternoon, one day, somebody's wing mirror caught my chicken and it fell out. So, of course, I'm all unbalanced now. I've got beef on one side, no chicken on the other. And I was because it was quite heavy beef, I was leaning to the left side and to counterbalance, to lean to the right, to counterbalance the weight of the beef. Yeah. And everybody's bibbing me up down the A13, go, hey, get out of the way. And I thought it was because I was driving quite haphazardly. And it wasn't. By the time I got home, I realised the chicken had come out and it bounced out and it got stuck on my mudguard and it looked like I was being chased by a chicken down the A13. And after it was cooked, it was still on the exhaust, yeah. And my mum said, "Oh, don't worry, we'll cut that bit off." And just cut it off. And we had but it tasted of WD-40 by the time we got. It was horrible that one on that Sunday. But it was a good job. I enjoyed that one.
I used to love those. I worked at Weddell's, which was an abattoir in Chester.
Yeah.
I used to work for Weddell, and there is something wonderful about working at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, with dead meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before the world's away and you get there and it's all dirty and then you got to sluice out. I used to like sluicing. Oi, boy, get that sluiced and wash it out like that.
Wash all the... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all that kind of... Wash it all away.
Yeah.
We got to go to a break.
Oh, have we? Yeah. Okay.
So, moving on from the extra work, what was your first... give us your first live performance.
First live performance? Oh, blimey, what was the first live performance? What, doing stand-up?
Yeah.
I think probably just at the holiday camp where the comic hadn't turned up.
There you go. Gary T's not here.
Do you remember Gary T. Thompson?
Yeah,
do you remember Gary?
He done all the holiday camps.
Gary's still going.
Gary T. Thompson's not here.
Great.
Son, get on.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yep, somebody didn't turn up. Get out there and do half hour. I ain't got half hour. Get out there and do something for half hour. And just whatever I did for half hour. Couldn't even tell you what I'd done now. But I went out and talked to him for half an hour. And that was it.
But that, you see, this is what I'm saying about the education that you're given at these kind of jobs, is that, you see, it's changed now, and the people do they do the festivals, and they do Edinburgh, and they do these shows, and they go off, and I think that's great, and it's wonderful. But there comes a point, if you're going to make a living as a comic, it's going to be your job.
Yeah.
There comes a point where you're going to be in a situation where you think, I'm just going to have to talk to these people.
I know. There is that. I did a gig a couple of years ago. I think it was somewhere in Gloucester, and there was a power cut, not just in the venue, in the whole city. It went completely, and mic's gone, everything's gone completely. We had about 600-700 people in, and like, oh God, what are we going to do? And then the stage man was shouting, the power's gone. I said, well, how long is it going to be? And everybody, ooh, and all the powers have gone. So there's no lights in the theatre at all, except for the emergency lighting, which had come on, which was very dim. Yeah. And then I'm trying to shout at the audience, saying, the power's gone, we can't hear you. Well, the mic ain't working, you spanner, because everything's gone off. So how long is it going to be? And then so we'd come back and let you know. A couple of minutes later, somebody come back and said, looks like it can be out for a good few hours. So I said so I couldn't do the act because I had music, all the props, all that sort of lighting, all that sort of thing. So I said, look, the power's gone, it's gone for they reckon it could be a good few hours. So it's up to you. If you want to go home, everybody can have your money back, go home, we'll come back and do it another day, or I'll just sit here talking to you. And two people went, said we're going to go, and the rest of them sat there, and I just literally sat on the front of the stage, just talked to them.
And you had a great night, I bet. I know you would have had a great night.
For 2 hours. I did longer than I would normally do. Sat there for 2 hours, just literally talked to them, they'd talk to me, and it was just brilliant. I loved it. It was one of the best experiences ever.
Well, it is, and you see, that's a very extreme example. There's a power cut, you got no choice. But what I always say to young comics is that, listen, no matter how good you think you are, this show that you've got, this routine that you've got, sometimes they ain't going to go for it.
No.
It's not your fault. It happens. And so what you've got to have in your pocket is the ability to say, all right, well, let's do something else then. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. Who's that?
And also, I've got a magic trick, or
I've
got some funny stories.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what this bloke said to me. It's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that is the education that comes from.
Yeah. And also, it's a case of getting over your fears. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Get over those fears. The minute you don't care, that's when you realise, okay, I can do this then. Once I don't care, you actually care about what you do, but you don't care if it doesn't go well.
Exactly. That is the key.
Yeah.
It's not, if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well.
No, it don't go well. You've got to stop caring about that.
Yeah.
The minute you don't care about that, okay, well, so if the worst thing that happens today is I don't laugh, it's still not that bad a day.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it?
What's funny, I'm thinking of you being told So you got your gear on,
Yeah.
because here's the thing, right? It sounds like the most terrifying thing in the world. Imagine this: you're working as a holiday camp as a rep, and they have a proper professional act.
Yeah.
And he's not turned up, and that sounds like the most evil thing. But I can promise you that in the heart of Joe Pasquale and all his colleagues is, I hope they choose me. This is it now. This is it. This is. Hey guys. Watch, enjoy, because this is the last time you're going to see me. Because I'm on the road now. I've got my foot on the bottom step of the ladder now,
Yep.
and you can't even see the top.
That is what goes through your head.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And then when I've done New Faces,
Now, hang on. New Faces. Explain
Yeah.
that. You see, I'm a big fan of that. I remember Opportunity Knocks, of course.
that's right. Well, this was this is the thing that came after it for ITV, hosted by Marty Kane. And I went to the audition, and there was 3 people there. There was a producer, director, and whoever it was there. I can't remember who it was now. And I didn't have an act. I just had this one little joke where I had a little guitar out of a big guitar case. I get it out, and I could sing a little Spanish folk song called "The Moose Used to Do a Gee." And the bloke on the piano said to me, "Do you need any music?" So I said, "Well, if you think anything that's that'll fit in with it, play it." And so I sung a Spanish folk song. He started playing all this, and basically the gag was it's a Spanish folk song called "A Moose Used to Do a Gee." And I go, "A moose used to do a gee" in the window. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
So I started to get this guitar out, Spanish folk song, and he started playing flamenco stuff on the piano, and he played it for about 2 minutes, and I only had 2 minutes, and he just kept playing. I just stared at him. I just kept looking at him. And eventually he realised I wasn't doing anything. He looked at me and he went, "Is everything all right?" I went, "Yeah." I said, "You already got the job. I'm the one auditioning." And I pretended that I had the ump, and I broke the guitar over my knee and I smashed it all up, and I walked off with the ump. And they went their knickers laughing. They went, when are you available to do the show? Who's your manager? So I said, "My manager." They went, "Who's the manager?" So I said, "My manager's name's Mr. Lee." I said, "Mr. Lee who?" I said, "No, his name is Mr. Lee." "Who does he manage?" "Well, he manages the camp." "What camp?" So with the holiday camp. "What holiday camp?" "Well, the holiday camp." And the more I was telling this story, the more they were laughing at me. And I went, "No, this is true. It's not funny." He said, "What's not funny?" I said, "Well, it's not funny because I work holiday camp. What do you do?" "I call bingo." "No, what do you really do?" "I call bingo." "What, for Mr. Lee?" "Yeah, Mr. Lee is the manager there." "What's his first name?" "Well, no, his name is Francis, but his surname is Lee." "So I thought his name was Lee." "No, his third name is Lee. His first name is Francis." "Why didn't you call him Francis Lee then?" "Well, because I have to call him Mr. Lee because he's the manager." And the more this went on, the funnier it got. And they phoned me up a week later, said, "We want you to do the show." So I said, "But I haven't got an act." And they went, "Well, just come down and do what you've done. You've got 30-piece orchestra to take the mickey out of." So I went, "Okay." And I went down there. I had this piece of bit of business I'd worked out when I was going to do a magic trick with a handkerchief. So this is a magic handkerchief. You can tell it's a magician's handkerchief because it won't cut, and I had a pair of scissors and it wouldn't cut it, and it won't saw, and I had a plastic saw, it won't saw, and it won't burn. And I put it and I'd set fire to it, and it would actually burst into flames. Put it on the floor and I stamp it out, my foot would go up in flames, and I'd take my shoe off and I'd stamp it out with my sock would go up in flames. Everything's on fire by now. And that was the routine I was going to do. So to get my foot to go on fire and to get my sock to go on fire, I got this resin stuff that you put, for tiles in the kitchen. I put that all over my shoe, put that all over my socks, so that'd be fine, that'd go up like a rocket then. And unbeknownst to me, in the dressing room, this thing had opened up, this jar of this glue had opened up into my bag, and my bag was open in the dressing room, and I sat in my dressing room about 3 or 4 hours, as you know, inhaling these fumes from this glue. So by the time it was my turn to go on, I was high as a kite. I didn't give a monkeys. And the whole thing went like a bomb because I didn't care. I really did. It was live telly, didn't care. I'd been sniffing glue for 3 hours, didn't even know anything about it. And I won the heat and come second in the grand final, and that was it.
Who won the grand final, do you remember?
Jimmy Tamley, ventriloquist. Remember Jimmy?
Jimmy, yeah, I do remember, yeah.
He was on Britain's Got Talent a few weeks ago.
That's right, yes, of course he was, yeah. And it all went a bit eggy, didn't he? Because he got Simon Cowell up and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
I saw that, I remember seeing that and thinking, this has turned a little bit ugly, hasn't it? He got the knock with him. I think he stormed off at one point.
I don't think Simon liked it too much, did he?
No, he doesn't like being touched.
No.
No, he doesn't. Well, it's not funny. Some people don't like being touched, and Simon, I know because I did something. He doesn't like. I mean, he'll shake hands begrudgingly because he realises the etiquette is you have to. Right. But other than that, he hates some people you walk up to and you say, "Hello, don't
he cuddle, whatever."
No, I don't like that.
Don't cuddle him.
No, God in heaven, no. That's why there's that dynamic with him and David Williams, because David Williams will cuddle anyone.
Yeah, I know. He loves
very tactile. Yeah, he's very tactile, man. And that's the exact opposite of Simon Cowell, who hates any kind of physical contact at all.
Funny, isn't it?
I don't know what we're getting to know well here, but I like the sound of it. I
Do
can
you?
tell you that. So, you do New Faces, and then what? All hell breaks loose, and you become a megastar.
No, they did do nothing for about 5 years.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And then through strange coincidences, I ended up getting on a Royal Variety Show because somebody else couldn't do it in '93. And that was it. That was the whole thing then. After the Royal Variety Show, it all took off after that.
Is that where you done the thing with the candles?
I did that on New Faces, in actual fact.
Oh, you did that on New
yeah,
Faces.
did that on New Faces. Yeah.
Is that the Johnny Mathis thing?
That's it, yeah, Johnny Mathis, yeah.
You do
Charlie
Johnny
Ball,
Mathis
yeah.
with the candles.
Yeah.
It was a very funny thing.
It was good, yeah, it was great little
Where you
routine,
burn
it
your
was.
hand to I thought I did it quite well then.
You did very well. It was just like Johnny was in the room.
Yeah, that's very, very
Bit
good.
nasally, but apart from that, it was fine.
Do you know what? I saw Johnny Mathis on a documentary. There's a brilliant documentary on YouTube that Michael Parkinson presents about Batley Variety.
I remember Batley Variety.
Yeah.
Back in the days, as they say.
Because that is the greatest story in the history of showbiz. The guy goes to Las Vegas, comes back, sits in his caravan, basically because he was a traveller. He was a gypsy family at the fairground. Well, the Batley was where they wintered,
Right.
and he sat in his caravan and said, "You wouldn't believe what it's like in Las Vegas. All them clubs, they're just amazing. The club. I'm going to open one. Where? Here.
Right.
What do you mean here? Here."
And so he did.
And the people said, well, they're not going to come to Batley. So they don't need to come to Batley. You've got 3 major towns. Friday night, everyone gets paid.
Yeah.
They'll come to Batley. And he built Batley Varieties.
I didn't know that.
He started with Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Eartha Kitt played there.
My God.
Johnny Mathis. Neil Sedaka. Bassie was there every other week. She was like a regular.
Well, I know it's a huge...
Yeah, it was
I did
absolute-
it a couple of times.
It's a brilliant, brilliant documentary. And I read his book. He wrote a book called King of Clubs.
I didn't know this.
Same name as Stringfellow's book, I think it was King of Clubs. James Corrigan, his name was. James Lord Corrigan.
Right, okay.
Gypsy, proper, fairground.
yeah.
There's a whole family of them. And he built this incredible edifice basically in the middle of nowhere.
Remember, yeah, it
up
was, yeah.
north, which became the most popular club
Yeah.
in Europe,
Yeah,
really.
it did, didn't
and
it?
people flew over
massive.
from Vegas to play
To do
Batley.
it. Yeah.
You ever been to Vegas?
Loads of times. Well, it's loads, yeah, 2 or 3 times. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you played there? I mean,
No, no, I've never played there. No.
Kev Orkian plays there.
He does it a lot. I know he does, yeah.
Right, it's easy with the piano, isn't
I've
it?
got a piano. Well, look at Neil Sedaka.
Mind you, they'd like the
Johnny Mathis.
because they know Johnny,
They know Johnny. If they know Johnny, they know me.
and you could have the candelabra like Liberace candelabra,
Yeah.
and then you should do
Yeah, I
it.
should take that to Vegas. It'd be a massive hit, but run forever.
That and the burning foot.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce you now a guy you've not seen anything like this before. You've never seen a foot burn. You see?